Hi everybody, this is Dark Guards, and we're back with another video. This is going to be really short. I just want to do a quick update to show off a new request that was handled. So a few people were requesting for the camo blocks to use the old glass texture again. So these are basically the same exact camo block. No other changes other than just being able to change the texture. Not only can you switch to the actual glass texture, but you actually can flip over to about any block you want to set it to. Now this is done of course in the config, but because of how long it takes to actually reload the configs, I'm not actually going to reload the game every time I change the configs. Instead we're just simply going to go over into the settings and change a few things. Now the two basic configs it's got is you can A, flip it to force to glass at all times, or B, change what block it uses. Now by default it's going to set the vine block to effectively nothing, actually let me fix this. It's going to set it to the vines itself, so you're going to have a default setting without actually having anything change based on the normal thing. So if we actually do set the use glass render to false, which right now it's set to 2 in the config, or true to in the config, I'm going to go over here and set it in the render, that way it actually gets updated. So this will be settings.use glass render equals false, and we'll go ahead and reload that. You'll see it reload in the bottom down here. There we go, reloaded. And what will happen as soon as I break this, it'll flip back to the vines. So you get that different where you can change it. And I know some people do like the new vines texture. It kind of looks a bit more realistic, looks a lot more like camouflage, which is the reason why it was changed. But a lot of people do still also like the old classic glass because you could see through it. You actually could use it for more effective things. Because once you get a couple of these stacked on top of each other, and let me go ahead and set this to that and go ahead and change it, it's really hard to see through that. Not to mention, if somebody was hiding on the other side of this and you walked out, you'd get hit real easily. So people do like the glass. Now on top of this, what you could also do with it is change this to any type of texture you want to. And we're going to go ahead and do this through the code again because it takes way too long to reload the actual. So how this works is you need to set it to the actual registry name of the block. So this, we'll go ahead and use stone as an example. So Minecraft.stone, and this needs to be a colon, not a semicolon. There we go. And I'll go ahead and reload this. As soon as I break or update the textures around it, it'll go ahead and change. Or in theory it should, oh yes, right, because we have, no, that should have actually worked. Ah, yeah, I forgot one last thing. We need to actually tell it to update the block, because it'll cache the block. So what I need to do is do this real quick just for testing. And that should work. There we go, change it to stone. Now of course stone is ineffective because you can't see it through it at all. Let's say you wanted to change it to, I don't know, ice. So let's try ice real quick. And the reasons for wanting to be able to change this, that could be anything. Say you wanted to, I don't know, make it so that it fit your mod pack in some particular way. Say you wanted it to look like quantum quartz glass because you used that in your recipe all of a sudden. Or you wanted to use some kind of other glass because you used it in the recipe. Now of course, we can't really see through ice. Actually, I'm curious, can you actually see through ice default? It's been a while since I've built with ice. Yeah, you can see through it by default, so I'm going to say it's just a little quirk with how the textures are designed. It could be a simple fact that it doesn't do an alpha texture, so I may come back in and work on this more, because of course if you can see through that, you should be able to see through this, and we'll definitely have to work on that more. But that feature is now available. It's in the 1.7 version. I will try to make it work in the 1.12 version. Like, the reason I say I'll try is because the 1.12, the way rendering is done is completely different, so we'll have to toy with that and make it work. You probably won't be able to do real-time updates on that because it has to bake the textures and everything. 1.7, we could eventually get to the point where this has a real-time update, so say you have a mod pack and you wanted it to change the texture every time some kind of action happened, that could be a feature that could be done. But anyways, I'll leave you guys here, and I'll be back with another video with more updates.